Okay, first things first, I gotta let you guys know that yes, I was provided a review copy of this game from PlayStation. PlayStation, thank you again for the opportunity to cover this game. I love Astro Bot. Look, this game is so good. This is a game that's so good. I really like literally had to rip myself away from my my PlayStation portal just so I could record this review. That's just how good this game is. And I'm someone who's in their mid 30s, right? Going into the late 30s. And I remember when you grew up in the 90s, right? Especially with PlayStation, you grew up and it was nothing but amazing platformers. Spyro, Crash Bandicoot, you know, you had you go over to the 2000s, Ratchet and Clank, Jack and Daxter. Like, I remember that golden era of companies other than Nintendo making absolutely phenomenal platformers that just you kept coming back to them because the replayability was just so high. Astro Bot is literally that. If you guys know, it started off as a PlayStation VR game. It was really good, really probably one of the best PlayStation VR 1 games there ever was. Then, if you got a PlayStation 5, you got the game for free. It came with it. Like, there was it was technically like a tech demo, but I would say that was pretty much a prologue to this game here. Because this right here, if you played the one that came, Astro's Playroom that came with your PlayStation 5, and you're thinking, oh, this is just, more of that, not much variety, you're going to be so absolutely wrong, because this game is going to just blow you away. Look, I don't even know where to start, because like I said, this is completely off the cuff. But I'll say this, right? So you start off and you're thinking, okay, it's real simple. Start simple. Very similar to the game that came out originally on PlayStation 5. But then you start getting abilities. Like, you get these frog power-ups, which lets you do punches. And that kind of makes me think, oh, that's like that that game from Nintendo. I can't even think of it. It was like, yeah, Spring Man and all that. Kind of like the boxing game. I can't think of the name of it because it came and went, it flopped, right? It's very similar to that with the mechanics, because you're going to need to, and I keep grabbing my PlayStation 4 because it's right here, but you're going to keep pressing these to throw your attacks. And not only can you throw it to punch, but you can also use it to grab specific things, pull yourself back and do like a slingshot. And, you can do other things. You can double jump, you can hold down the punch, you do the spin, like everything you did in the other game, you can do in this one. But then it just goes so much further with it, You're going to be collecting different bots and basically repairing your PlayStation 5, which is your ship, right? So you got to go to each of these different worlds. There's like five worlds that you're going to go into, and each world has its own little like mini world to it, and it's just so good. And oh my goodness, let me talk about the graphics. Look, yes, I'm gushing. It is what it is. Yeah, double entrade. You take that how you will. This game's graphics are so beautiful. Look, I many a times when I was recording, I just stopped moving and just panned the camera around so I could look at just how glorious this game looks. Like, if you're looking for a genre-defining platformer that's not only cute but aesthetically beautiful, Astro Bot is literally that. One of the best levels that's just so gorgeous is when you go to the Bot of War, which, play on the word, it's a pun on God of War. You go to the Bot of War level, and man, I was just like sitting there just looking at the water just move about, and I'm like, man, this is so gorgeous. Like, and then when you look at the grass, like, how we always tell people, yeah, you need to go outside and touch some grass. Yeah, thankfully I got some grass right here I can touch, so you ain't gotta tell me that. If I need to touch grass, it's right here, I can just touch it. Anyways, it's so realistic looking, and I'm just like, man, how does okay, next part. I'm over here like, how did PlayStation make a game that takes some of the best aspects of Mario games, like Mario 64, Mario Sunshine, Mario Odyssey, and incorporate Pikmin, Jak and Daxter, Ratchet and Clank, you know, Crash Bandicoot, Spyro, and other platforms while also maintaining its own unique identity. And I'm just like, PlayStation, you got yourself your own Mario. I mean, you've had it multiple times, but legitimately, you got your own Mario. Like, please run with Astro Bot. It needs to be the mascot. And I know we haven't had mascots for consoles and companies for a while outside of Nintendo, right? We've not had mascots, right? And if you know the history of PlayStation, for a bit there, we had Crash Bandicoot before they sold it off. Then it became, what was it? Kratos from God of War, Jak and Daxter, Ratchet and Clank. And then it went on to become The Last of Us, like Ellie and Joel. And again, the Kratos down the road. But, and I think, yeah, Cole McGrath from Infamous 1 and 2. So we've had multiple different mascots over the decades. Like every PlayStation generation. When I say PlayStation generation, I mean each decade that PlayStation console is out. So you think about from 94 to 2000, you had Crash Bandicoot, right? And then you look at 2000 and onward, Jak and Daxter and such. And then you get the idea. Like every generation has had its own mascot for PlayStation, even if PlayStation doesn't keep like the rights to the characters. Think Spyro, think Crash Bandicoot, for example, you know, both owned by Toys for Bob. But nonetheless, I'm just like, this is it. This is, if you need a system seller, maybe not entirely to adults, but I mean, adults can have a lot of fun. Look, I'm 35 going on 36, and I'm absolutely loving this game, right? I struggled to, like I said, put my PlayStation Portal down so I can just record this. You literally have a game that kids play it. It's a done deal. It's that good. They need to go all in with this. Here's the other thing that's so cool and cute about like the bots that you're gonna rescue, right? They're all different characters. Like you got all the past mascots for PlayStation. You'll find Spyro, Crash, Jak and Daxter, all of them, right? Kratos, Nathan Drake, Ellie, Joel. Like you're gonna find all of them. Even like Days Gone character. I can't think of his name. The girl from the other game. I can't even think of the name of Horizon Zero Dawn and Horizon Forbidden West. Aloy, you'll find her too. But what really is super cool is when you find the other bots that aren't PlayStation owned characters, but it makes sense in the grander scope of things. Like you will find Richter and Alucard from Dracula X Chronicles or Castlevania Requiem or Castlevania Symphony of the Night, which originally Symphony of the Night was a PlayStation, at least in the West, it was a PlayStation exclusive up until 2007 when we got Castlevania Dracula X Chronicles, but in Japan it was a time exclusive before they got the Saturn version, which was inferior until fans modded it and made it better. But nonetheless, you got those two from Castlevania. You got Solid Snake, you got Psycho Mantis, you got Raiden, you got Frank Yeager, aka Cyborg Ninja, you've got Ryu from Street Fighter in his alpha incarnation, or technically his Street Fighter 1, well, Street Fighter 1, Street Fighter Alpha incarnation. You know this when he's got the reddish auburn hair and then he's got the white headband and the bright red gloves. That's how you know which variation of Ryu. Later variations of Ryu have like black hair, just more spiky, shorter length, and he's got that more rugged, kind of dirty aesthetic to his gi. Anyways, all that aside, you know, all the different bots, it's just so cool seeing that, right? And like the homages, if you're young and you're not really that familiar with a lot of things with PlayStation or gaming in general, there's a lot of things that are just going to completely go over your head, right? But I'm like looking at the PlayStation Pocket, I think that's the name of it. I remember having that, and it was kind of like PlayStation's answer to Tamagotchi, because it was a memory card that also was like, it was like, think about slightly bigger than this Apple Watch here, like maybe two Apple Watches tall, or maybe up to here. And you literally had little buttons and you could like play on it and whatnot. And it's like that's in there, right? Everything from PlayStation's past. Like this is literally a celebration of PlayStation, not only as a gaming company, but as a brand. It's a celebration of the history of PlayStation. And man, I just feel like it just this this is the game. This is the game of the year. Like, oh man, I can't even think of the name of the level, but it's like the level where you got the singing tree. I'm gonna play a clip for it right there, right here for you. Like this right here just blew me away, because I'm like listening, and it's like there's so many things in each level, and you don't see this in gaming hardly anymore, and especially not anything that's not Nintendo, because typically this is stuff you'll see Nintendo do. But in this game, there are so many small attention to details. You got, you know, the trees dancing, doing the whole thing, like all the plants and mushrooms just like dancing, vibing, all the bot characters doing something specific, reacting to you. Sometimes if you hit one of the bots, they'll hit you back. And it's like, it's crazy. Like when the tree was singing, or rapping, rather it was rapping than humming. And I'm like, man, I'm bopping to it, because I'm like, yo, this kind of goes hard. It's got that little like hip hop techno-ish going to it. And I'm like, man, just all the little details, certain things, like little things you do when you're running across, and you're just feeling, because of the dual senses haptic feedback, right? You're feeling every step of ASTRO BOT. And then not only with that, but like when you're doing like touching, or you hit specific things in the environment, how it reacts to it, right? And then, oh man, I know I'm jumping all over the place, so please bear with me. This is, like I said, I didn't write a script. This is all completely straight off the dome from just playing this game. I'm a massive Ape Escape fan. I want that series, that franchise to come back. We haven't had one since Ape Escape, Apes on the Loose, and Ape Escape 3, I believe. And then that little crossover with Snake Eater and Metal Gear Solid Subsistence. Subsistence, I think it is. Yeah, Subsistence. And like running through that level, of course, it plays a little bit different, because in Ape Escape, you use the right analog stick to control your baton as well as your net. In this one, that is going to be like the attacks is going to be handled by this. But you literally take on Spike's look from Ape Escape. You have his full, you find him, you find his bot version. You take on his look, you get his net, and I swear I'm running around and I'm swinging the net down, and it has the same animation from Ape Escape when you capture one of the apes, because literally on this level you're capturing apes. And you'll find that in this game you will find specific levels for specific PlayStation franchises. There's, like I said, the God of War one. You get to play as Kratos from, you know, God of War and God of War Ragnarok, and also there's like a little cute little Easter egg in there where you find one of the bots, and he's sitting there on an old like CRT, and he's sitting there playing Bot of War Ragnabot, and I'm just like, oh, I love it. I love it. It's so cheesy, but I love it. But anyway, so like you're playing on the God of War level, you run into Kratos, right? And when you run into him, he looks at you, he picks up his axe, he throws it to you, right? Or this is, like I said, bot Kratos. He throws it to you, you catch it. At first you can't lift it, then all of a sudden you lift it up and then you take on Kratos's look. So you're running around the level, you can still do your punch, your double jump, to the hover, to the holding down the punch to do the circle attack, which is very reminiscent of something Crash and Jack would do in Jak and Daxter. But yes, I had to take a deep breath because I ran out of breath. Anyways, so you get Kratos' axe, and it functions very much like it does in God of War 2018 and God of War Ragnarok, where there will be specific things you can just hurl the axe with R2 and it can freeze it in place, and then you can call it back to you and you can like attack enemies with it. And then even when like you're going through like these tight crevices where you know how Kratos had to go to the side, he'd have to like do that, it like Astro Bot does that, and I'm just like geeking out over how the small attentions to details because I love all of it. I'm like, this is what gaming is about. And I'm just like, man, I cannot think of the last time I played a game that is just fun, visually, aesthetically pleasing. Audio wise, it's like a eargasm, right? Because it's just so catchy, upbeat, and it's whimsical, and it's like it's such a callback to the heyday, the glory days, the golden days of platformers. And I'm just like, man, this is my game. This is my game of the year. I know people are gonna be like, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, the greatest game ever, this is game of the year, all this other stuff. I don't care. You can have it. I didn't even beat that game anyway. I played enough to do the review and I was done with it. Anyways, I'm just saying, this is my game of the year, and I absolutely love this game. Man, the fact that it's just so much replayability, is so much fun. There's always like it's a collectathon done right, and we need to see more of this. Like, not only of this genre, which needs to have a complete resurgence. We need to have that come back. But Astro Bot as a character, as a franchise, is adorable. Love Astro Bot. We need so much more. PlayStation, please. Like, I got my prayer beads right here. Please, 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 please bring more Astro Bot games, because we need it. This right here, as a lifelong gamer, someone who's been gaming for 30 years, man, this just does it for me. And I'm hoping my passion for this is coming through. And of course, is gonna have someone who's like, "Oh, you got paid because they sent you the game. Oh, you're reading the script." I ain't got no script. I didn't write one. Typically, I write a script and I read it because it's just more time consistent, time efficient. It's consistent. And I can get all my talking points, and you don't get this right here where I'm just like, word vomit, trying to figure out, I'm all over the place. That's the benefit. Unless you guys like this. I mean, if you guys prefer this, I can personally just do these going forward. But I feel like I miss a lot of things when I don't have a script. But yes, man, Astro Bot, game of the year for me. 5 out of 5. That's the rating. Yeah, I gotta go ahead and put a rating on it. Astro Bot for PlayStation 5. 5 out of 5. This game is absolute perfection. It's the perfect length. It respects your time. It doesn't throw a million tutorials to where you're just sitting through tutorials for half an hour to an hour or 2 hours before you can even do anything. You pick it up, you get your cute little cutscenes. They are, for the most part, many of them are interactive. And there's just new things to explore, to discover. It wants you to explore each level and find every nook and cranny. It is just the most fun game that I think I have played in decades. And I know that's a bold statement. I gushed over the one that came packed in with the PlayStation 5, and I gushed over the PSVR 1 ASTRO BOT. But this is the game. This brought back my love and admiration for old PlayStation from back in the day, from my childhood, right? It brought that back. It brought that feeling. And nostalgia is a heck of a drug. It's a heck of a drug. But when you have that nostalgia and you just hit on every note, man, that's magic. That is absolute magic. So yeah, I'm gonna go back after I finish this review. I'm going back and I'm playing more of it. But yeah, what do you guys think of ASTRO BOT? Honestly, I don't even care what you think. I don't care what you think, because for me, this game is phenomenal. If you want to tell me what you think in the comment section, go ahead and do it. If you want to pick up the game, I'll leave links in the description. But I don't really care what anybody thinks about this game. I really don't, because I had a blast playing it. I love this game, and it's my game of the year, my game of the decades, like my game of the decade. I had so much fun playing this. But again, thank you to PlayStation for providing a review copy of this game. I absolutely had a blast playing it. And yeah, thank you again. And yes, I'm going to pick up the controller. I'm gonna go pick up a physical copy of this game, because I've said this before. I think I need to reiterate this. Yes, I get review codes for games. Yes, I work with companies, and there are embargoes and everything like that. I can't really openly talk about a lot of stuff. But anytime, and this is just something I do, right? Anytime there's a game that comes out, I get a review code, regardless of whether I like the game or not. It's still an honor and a privilege to be able to get to do what I do, right? To have the trust that these companies have put in me because of years of work and dedication and proving myself. So I like to purchase games that I have gotten review codes for to support the developers. I'm not saying any of you have to do that. This is just something I personally do. I believe very strongly in reciprocity, paying it forward and everything like that. And a game like this, man, I want to buy 2 copies, because I want to just give this to somebody, give it to, one of my friends, or, give it to my wife or something like that, just so they can enjoy it, because this game is just so stinking fun. Anyways, that's all I gotta say. We're 22 minutes into this video. I've been talking just straight for 22 minutes. I'm like blown away that I didn't make an error or mess up, because normally when I'm recording, I make a lot of mistakes. But yeah, ASTRO BOT, love it. I could talk for I could probably talk for an hour straight about how great this game is. All the callbacks, all the little mini games, especially when you get to like put the pieces together back on the PlayStation 5 to repair your ship, which is PlayStation 5. But yeah, the aspects of Pikmin that they pull, because you can on your home world when you're rebuilding. Because think about it, here's another way. Yeah, I know I was supposed to end a review, but I'm still going, because I told you I could talk for an hour about this game because it's that good. Anyways, the fact that this game, yes, we're continuing, right? The fact that this game pulls from Pikmin when you're on the crash, where your ship is crash landing, and you need oh so many bots, and you can call them kind of like Olimar calls the Pikmin, and then utilize them to like get around to different areas. It is so freaking cool, man. It's so cool. And this reminded me of why I love gaming, because being in this field, reviewing games constantly, being on social media, seeing people angry about every little thing, it can kill your drive and your passion, which is one of the reasons you guys haven't seen me put up a lot of reviews for the last couple of months. Like I'll do them here and there, but I'm not doing them and putting them out to the rate that I was before because I got burnt out and I lost my passion. Especially, like I said, seeing people just everything is, it's either the greatest ever or the worst ever. Angry about this, mocking this, oh, you know, all this other. I don't care for all that negativity. I, this brought my love for gaming back, and I'm so grateful. So with that being said, I'm signing out. I'm gonna stop here. We're at 25 minutes. I'm gonna stop here. Hope you guys have a great aloha rest of your day. Again, thank you to PlayStation for providing a review code. And with that being said, I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out and ahoy.